It's episode 8 of Barrels Banter with Sarah from Sarah Miles Shooting and me, Celine from Wintercombe. In your favourite fieldsports podcast, we have got Banging Tales, Man in a Bog, a firing line debate, country show season, the good, the bad and the ugly, our field notes and anecdotes, we shoot it straight and myth bust, do thermal scopes make stalking too easy, we have confessions and questions too, and, as always now, a recommendation. And we will kick it off with a banging tale. This one is from me.
Oh, have you got a juicy one for us this time?
So I know we've just come out of the shooting season, but this one is one that's just stuck with me, and it just makes me think of it this time of year because everything is boggy and everywhere you walk is wet and muddy and sticky and every step you take you sink and it's just there. Well, a few years ago, we were on a shoot. My husband was hosting the shoot and I was running the picking up team. And there was a really, really boggy patch on one of the drives. We always said to everyone, you must follow the person in front of you. Do not deviate from the track. And as we all went round, everything was fine. Guns go out on pegs, job done. And at the end, Simon, my husband, said, follow the same track back. Do not deviate from the track. Well, I'm picking up at the bottom of the hill and there's quite a few of us there and all the guns are passing through like they do because obviously they're going back for drinks or maybe snacks, 11s, etc. And we're picking up and I looked up the hill and I just thought, well, that's a bit weird. That man hasn't moved for a while. And I was looking at him and I was thinking,
Maybe he's having a rest.
but he was really close to the track.
Right.
However, Sarah, he had deviated from the track.
What a muppet.
And the point that the penny dropped was when I realised that his dog was at eye level with him.
Oh.
And he...
Properly sunk.
Oh, he'd stepped off and he was breeks in, trousers, like literally
Like
socks.
waist.
Oh, right up to his waist.
Oh, wow.
Just completely sunk in the mud. So I got on the radio and I said, oh, are you missing a gun by any chance? He said, yes, there's a chap that doesn't seem to have followed. He hasn't seemed to have...
Come on.
He does not seem to have followed everybody else. I said, well, he seems to have tried to, but he's not quite made it that far. I think he's sunk in the bog. What makes you think that? Because I can only see half of him.
The other half has disappeared.
It literally involved...
I was going to say, how did you get them out?
2 of them laying on their bellies on the track, digging with their hands the gloopy mud out, while 2 others tried to lift him by leaning as far forward as they could and pulling him across on his belly to get him out.
Oh my God, he was properly stuck then.
Yeah. So all I can say is, if someone says don't deviate from the track,
Don't
there's
deviate.
probably a reason.
Do you know what it just reminded me of?
Go on.
And I'll let Celine decide if she can keep this in, as to whether these people are going to listen or not.
Okay.
This may come in the pod, this may get cut. Do you remember on your shoot that time that, I won't say her name, was picking up and her husband was shooting and she walked across the pen, didn't see that there was a big hole and she just vanished.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
1 minute she was there, the next she was gone, and somebody else, again, won't say names, was in that area picking up, and she said the only way I can describe it was like she was lying in her coffin.
That was exactly what came to mind.
Literally, I walked over, looked down in this hole, and it was like she was just led there in her coffin.
But you said she was just laid there and her arms had gone back, so her hands were sort of laid on her shoulders with her palms to the air, just kind of looking up going, oh
God.
no. Oh.
It wasn't boggy, was it? It's just this hole that...
There is a really boggy patch there though, and I should imagine she stepped off the path and then it had taken her a bit and then she just toppled sideways but laid flat on her back.
Shoo, gone. Never to be seen again. I'm joking.
fair.
We did pull her out. We need to learn to laugh less though, I think.
Do we?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know if anyone will have seen this, but one of our podcasts that we recorded, I don't know what went wrong, but you got the giggles, let's say, then I got the giggles, and I think a good 20 minutes of the podcast recording, which obviously would have got cut out because you didn't want to hear that. We just could not...
Out?
Cutting out?
Got cut him out! I will cut him out, I will!
That's
Anyway.
a Somerset term, that is.
Okay, nice.
It got cut out. It got cut out of the podcast because we just couldn't stop laughing for 20 solid
What's really
minutes.
weird though is we don't really cut this podcast. Literally, I go through and I edit and I take tiny bits out if we've gone oh, what was the next thing? Or, oh, that was not quite
Just while we sort
I meant to
ourselves
say
out,
and
yeah.
I've jumbled my words up. Everything else is literally as we chat, waffling away to each other.
Yeah.
You get the whole lot. But for whatever reason, we retook Sarah saying one sentence
What was the sentence?
25 times.
Was it the word
It was
purpose?
about the goggles.
What's
the purpose
I
of
said,
those
what's
goggles?
the purpose of those goggles? That was it. Celine was literally
I don't even
crying.
I think it's it was just, you looked at me, it was just the way you said it. And then after that, we ended up filming it where I had to face one way up the room and Sarah had to face the fireplace and we couldn't look at each other. No eye contact was made.
Celine said, just put your head in the fire and don't look at me.
And that made me laugh as well.
I'm sure there's some outtakes somewhere. I
Yeah.
hope that you've seen it by now. What's up next?
We have a firing line debate. The country show seasons, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
So what's your shows?
What's my go-to show?
Yeah, what would be your...
I absolutely love the game fair.
Yeah.
I'm all on the game fair. I just...
all over it.
The only thing I would say is I did like it when it moved around a bit more.
Yeah.
Because I do find that when it's been static at Ragley, you know exactly where everyone is, which is nice in a way. But it also, if you go every year, like we normally go, we actually don't arrive till like Friday lunchtime, but we'll do Friday afternoon, all day Saturday, most of Sunday, come home. So if you're going and doing 2 to 3 days of the 3-day show, can get a bit samey.
Yeah.
I also would
location
really
switches
love them to completely move maybe where they do the gun dog, like when they do all the like proper working tests and everything. I love how I say this like it's just a really easy feat, and the people that organise the game fair are probably at home
What's
thinking,
the problem?
they're probably sat at home thinking, oh yeah, okay, well I'd love to see you volunteer. I do volunteer for other things, okay? I am a busy person and I'm not knocking anyone. I don't want anyone to think I'm knocking it.
Just from an outsider's point
but
of
from an
view.
outsider's point...
Outsider, you're going Somerset now as
my
well.
God, you're Somerset.
Oh my God, love.
From an outsider's point of view, then I would just like to see a couple of things changed up, because you kind of almost know the format. You know that the water's going to be at one end, etc., etc. And that's just purely that. I loved it when it switched to Blenheim. I used to like when they used to switch between Hatfield House. Donkeys years ago, we went down to Broadlands and up to Yorkshire and here and there and everywhere. But I can also understand the logistics of that would be horrific. And the cost probably as well, because you've got to ship everything up and down. Nightmare. But I love the game fair. I like
It's
the
got
people.
a bit of everything, hasn't it, there?
has.
It's from shooting to gun dogs, any country sport,
Yeah, but you've
horses,
also got
hunting.
Yeah, I do like that you've got that element of you can go and watch the horses if you want to, and the kids will go and watch the pony club games, which is great fun.
Yeah.
And I've got one of mine is really into fishing, so he'll have a mooch around the fly fishing section, etc.
Yeah.
And that's probably my big one.
It's a good family event. Like, you can take the kids and there's something for everyone to do and something that will interest everyone there.
I was going to give a top tip then, but I feel like if I give the top tip, then everyone will do the same as I... Well, I'll give it now because my children have got mobile phones. Top tip.
Yeah.
When my children were younger, I used to give them a shoot radio each.
Yeah.
Put them on a channel, let them go around, because they're all
Also,
nice
some of the
country
shows,
folk
there's no
people.
signals.
Yeah. So, but at the game fair, they've got enough that they can text, and we always have a meeting point. Give them a shoot radio, pop them on a channel, stick it in the rucksack. Off they go. You say, I'll meet you back at 1 o'clock at such and such. But in the meantime, if they've got a problem, they go, Mummy, I need some more money.
Yeah.
And then they can radio you.
Perfect.
But I feel like it's a really nice show because it is very family friendly.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to worry about your kids too much there. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Like, everyone's really nice and lovely. So, like, they're safe enough there.
Yeah.
Of a certain age. I mean, don't go bugging your 4-year-old out going off your hop.
No, but when you've got your pre-teens and your teenagers... And there's a lot for them to see and do, and they can go off and do something while you're maybe watching the cooking or you're at the Carter Jonas Theatre, etc. And so I do like that. And the other one that I would say, which we went to once, I don't even think they run it anymore. There's two that they don't run anymore, which is a real shame. One was the West Country Game Fair. That was brilliant.
That at the Bath and West?
They're like up Bristol sort of Way, was it Bristol? Bath and West Showground.
Yeah.
I loved that
It used to be quite big many years. Again, where it was horses, there was a bit of everything, wasn't
and it got
there?
smaller and smaller,
and smaller.
and then I think that died in COVID.
Yeah, that was quite a good one,
Was a good one, because it was also a really good start to the season.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really have many things like that down in the southwest now. It's really just like your county shows, your Devon, your Dorset, your Cornwall, etc.
Yeah.
And we once went to the Country Life show. I don't know if they'll ever bring that back.
Right.
And that was really good.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of it, there was a lot of fishing. So one of mine is really into his fishing, and a lot of it was about fishing, and they had people talking, and to be fair, we went with a fisherman, so maybe that's why I feel like it was weighted that way. That was really quite wholesome as well.
But they don't do that one anymore either.
Not that I'm aware of. I
No.
haven't seen it since. I feel like that would have been just pre-COVID. I quite like those wholesome family fun ones, if you like.
So we've got the game fair.
But you go to, well, I went to Stalking Show with you last year.
I really like the Stalking Show. Maybe not so much a family show, i.e. you haven't got everything there, like your horses, your donkeys, your chickens. I don't really want, it is stalking, shooting focus. Obviously, if your kids are into that, then perfect. But it's not like there's a fairground going
No, but
up.
it's a very nice place to try equipment and talk to an expert.
Yes.
Because, yes, you do have that at the game fair, but there's also an awful lot more people that you're competing with. If you go to the Stalking Show, it is very focused.
Yeah, and there's some amazing brands there. You can get some amazing deals there. It's feels like a bit of a family when you're there. Everyone speaks to everyone. Everyone's very welcoming. You meet loads of new people. And I feel like it's become a hub where all these people that are on social media, let's say, that talk.
Far-flung parts of the country that
meet.
wouldn't necessarily see each other, and then they end up meeting there.
Yeah, like you talk so much over social media, and then once a year, everyone comes together, and it's really, really nice. Yeah. I think tickets are really quite reasonably priced as well. I don't know, 20 quid, something like that. What else is there? The British Shooting Show.
I've never been to that one.
No, I've noticed it's getting a lot of bad press. What I will say is, yes, it's open to the public. The public kind of buy the tickets, which helps fund it. However, it is not really a member of the public show in that it's more so British Shooting Show is where all the companies will release their new products.
Yep.
So anything new coming out, they'll be holding off for the British Shooting Show, and that's where they'll do their big launch.
Yeah.
Other companies, then suppliers or gun shops will then go, oh my God, they're bringing out that new air rifle. When that's launched, we must stock that. So all the businesses kind of go round and work together. What have you got coming out new? Perfect, we're going to stock that. Is that more of that sort of show?
It's a tradie show, but I suppose if you were an avid gamekeeper, you were right up on your tech, you were at the forefront of things, then...
Or if you're just interested in seeing what's new and what's about. Yeah. But I think unfortunately, it's getting a lot of bad press, but I think that's because people don't understand. I mean, I've been going for years. I've done it with work. I've worked at these shows, so I get it a little bit more. But I guess if you were to turn up, you'd probably go, it was great, but I might not do it again. It wasn't...
Yeah, I can understand
nice
that.
to see it once, but as maybe just a punter, it's not so.
But let's be honest, if they were all the same, they would be redundant because the people wouldn't go to them all, would they?
Yeah.
So they've got to have their own niche and their own.
I would love to take you to, maybe this is a next year trip. I'm hoping to go next year. So you've got IWA in Germany.
Oh, yes.
That's a massive one. I've done that one before. That, unfortunately, for people listening, is a trade show. So you have to be within the trade to be able to get in there. And the SHOT Show in Las Vegas.
I have a problem with aeroplanes, so Sarah.
I know, but it will be worth it. It is huge. It's like one of the biggest shows in the world.
Have you been there?
No, I was meant to go last year.
On your bucket list?
We actually had a hotel booked for this year, but we decided that we've got too much else going on. And it's one of those, because it's all the way in Las Vegas, I don't just want to pop over for the show.
No.
I probably want to make a week of it.
Yeah.
Because I might never go back to Las Vegas again. So, so that's another one. Again, trade show, but massive bucket list to do that.
Well, if there's anyone out there that wants to buy us first class tickets
to Las Vegas. Because Celine's got this new thing.
I have got a problem.
So she doesn't like flying.
I don't like flying.
We could go into it. This will go on and on, so let's keep it short. She doesn't like flying.
Keep it short. I don't like flying because I don't like being near people that are sick on an aeroplane, and therefore I don't like going on airplanes.
You freak out a little bit. It's been trapped with a lot of people. But she did say to me the other day, although I think if I went first class, I'd feel better. And I'm like, how will you feel better in first
Sarah's
class?
words
Celine?
were, I'm sorry, your phobia will disappear with first
Yeah.
class. Yes, it will. Yes, it
I'm
will.
scared to drive, but if you buy me a Ferrari, I think I might get over my fear. That's what it came across like.
Yeah. So if anybody out there does want to buy me a first class ticket somewhere around the world, I'm in. And I reckon I could get over my phobia of being near people on an aeroplane.
You won't need to knock yourself out on diazepam.
No, I probably will knock myself out on diazepam and be in first class.
Event. You won't even enjoy the experience.
I'll be asleep, so it will be fine, but I will have a bed and I won't have to be near people. Other people.
Sponsor us some tickets, guys. Up next is our field notes and anecdotes. What have we been up to, Celine?
Well,
I said like we live together. What have we been up to?
I've been getting grey hair, Sarah. What have you been doing?
Getting small amount of grey hairs as well.
Small amount of grey hairs. I've got lots of grey hairs. We have been...
I haven't got as many as you, I don't think.
Starting to train the puppies from last year.
Puppies. Celine's puppies, may I add. So, if it all goes wrong.
I would... Yeah, well, do you know what they say? If a dog becomes a fantastic dog, it's down to the training. If a dog becomes a terrible dog, it's down to the breeder. So basically, I don't win either way with yours, but I could win both ways with mine.
If it goes wrong with me, I will definitely blame you.
Well, you already started with, if I'm buying a puppy off of you and it doesn't smile, I will be having my money back.
So the bitch that they're bred out of smiles, and she's just the cutest thing. And I did say I really want my puppy to smile, but I'm glad to report she does smile. Not as much as the bitch, but she does.
Give it time. She's got to learn, to stretch those muscles.
So that's what I've been training my dogs to smile. What have you been training yours?
I've been training my dog to be less annoying and chill out a bit. Yeah. I feel like this is going to be a repeating conversation that we have on this podcast up to sort of October of this year, followed by lots of swearing during next shooting season when it's not going quite how I hoped it would. But... I mean, to be fair, they're both super intelligent.
Oh, yeah.
They're just quite goey.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No, definitely not a bad thing. I prefer a goey dog. I find it really hard to coax a dog out of itself, and it's a lot easier to rein a dog in. And as they get older, they do get a bit deaf, but they also get a bit more sensible in theory. They do go a bit kind of, I don't need you anymore. I know my job. But equally, they do settle down and get into
I've always said the same. You can rein a dog in, but you can't G one up. If you've got a dog that can't be bothered, just sort of limps out to the dummy or the bird, how can you G it up? It's not interested, it really can't be bothered. You can't do a lot for that. But the other way round, you can settle it down a little bit.
Exactly. And so I think we're just starting to do...
just the basics.
Yeah, real basics. We've got all summer to kind of nail things. And the other dogs are having some time off, aren't they, after the season? So
basics like you don't need to jump up and down like a kangaroo, which we both seem to have the problem of.
Yeah. And if you could try and walk forwards without attempting to continually maintain eye contact, that would be fantastic. You can break the eye contact for 2 seconds.
But we'll do updates. I think we're going to try. We have said this before. We need to go into.
We say this every year.
We need to try and do some comparison videos. So when we're out training, no, not comparing.
Oh, no pressure. No pressure, Sarah. No. Don't worry. My dog is better than your dog, Celine, because my dog. Yes, I know exactly what you're saying.
Not comparing them against each other. But this is how it started. 4, 5, 6 months time. This is how it's going. It'd be lovely for us to see as well, like the progress that they've made over the time. I think.
Do you?
Why are you looking at me?
Because I feel horror. I feel like
your month 1 and month 6 might be the same.
I feel like everyone has a ceiling of their ability. I may have reached my training ceiling.
We'll find out in our progress video.
Watch this space. We'll let you know. We are shooting it straight and myth busting, and this week I feel like this is very much your domain because it's something that we've talked about early days, and
Sweets?
It is okay. No, sorry, I feel like that would be a joint domain.
Okay.
This is that thermal scopes make stalking too easy.
Oh,
is that a myth?
I think there's so many different opinions on it. So obviously the old traditional way was nobody had thermals and you had to use your binos and look for tracks and, really work for the stalk. Yes, it does make stalking easier. I think it depends on what sort of environment you're in and why you do it. Why are you doing it? If you're sort of more like just out for the fun and for the stalk, then you probably don't need a thermal. Do you know what I mean? Because it does teach you to work a bit harder and use your eyes and watch what's going on. However, if you're into deer management, it makes deer management a lot easier, because where you could, for example, I was in a field one night, nothing there. Put the thermal up, I could see there was 4 in the wood that were about to come out.
Yeah.
I may have walked out of
the cusp
that.
of a hedge, can't you?
Yeah, I may have gone, okay, nothing here, on to the next field. However, I was like, well, I'll sit here and wait. So from a deer management point of view, it really does help you get on top of numbers quicker, more easier, because you do have an advantage. And I also think it's 2026 technology. Every year things develop. It's like phones, isn't it? You know, does having iPhones make life easier? Yes, it does. It's just how the world is evolving. I don't think there's a right or wrong. I think if you don't want to use it, then that's fantastic, and you're keeping the real traditional method of deer stalking.
But I do think that when you say, yes, you know, old traditional, if you want to put it like that, was binos and deer tracker, but you're still using all of those with a thermal. It's not like the thermal takes over everything.
Oh God, no, you still need to identify.
Exactly, you still then binos to identify doe, buck, hind, stag, etc. Yeah, old, young, and also those seeing the tracks when you're walking around is telling you what path they're normally taking, especially when you've got wet or it's, you know, you've got boggy ground, if you've got snow and things like that. We were out shooting the latter part of the season on our family day. Yeah. And your Rich said, oh, we've got a deer path there. Yeah. Because he'd walked through and it literally looks like sheep had been up and down this track, isn't it? Because there was so many, and you're starting to notice gaps in hedges and you're thinking, okay, well, it's a run of something. Yeah. What is it a run of? Is it a run of deer? Is it a run of for a fox or a badger or whatever? Yes, to a degree you can see the height of the amount of hedge taken out, which will help you identify. But if you can use all of your technology and all the different things and all of your senses, then you are onto much more likely to hit a winner than if you're just using one at a time. Yeah, so I don't think there's a right or a wrong. Some people are really against it. Oh, it's not proper deer stalking. But I just think as long as you're doing it ethically and shooting them correctly, and do you know what I mean? I don't think there should be that much of a taboo around it, really. No, I agree. Well, that was a very easy one then, wasn't it, really? There's Sarah. She's like, nope, get them out. My answer to everyone, you do you, hun. You do you. You need to finger click that. You do you. Yeah. Nice. Next up, we have a question, which is, do you think social media has helped or harmed the field sports industry? Wow. Depends who you are. Well, yes. And I do think that in some ways, yes, obviously you've got your aunties. We'll put them in a box. They're obviously never going to love it. That's fine. I love that. Let's just put them in a box and shut the lid. No, but in terms of that, they've got their opinion. That's fine. They're going to have their opinion, whether they're on social media, in the news, you're meeting them on the street, wherever. Fine, in a box. But I do think that some of the things that avid field sports enthusiasts post on social media doesn't help reflect ourselves and can potentially be used against us in the future. Yeah. Of which, just some simple things. When you've got people in there, for the want of a better term, slagging off someone else online in the field sports industry, you have to say, who is reading this? Yes, some of the things that are done are bad practice, but if you start really putting it out there, you should really be taking it to the person that is the instigator, not to the rest of the world. If you take it to the rest of the world, then like any industry, it spreads and spreads and spreads, and before you know it, you've given aunties and other people fuel for their fire inadvertently. Go to the person that is doing what they shouldn't be doing and chat with them. Yeah. And if necessary, you can go to, BASC or whoever and progress things further. What you shouldn't really be doing is taking your vents and slagging off online other people within an industry, because sometimes people get the wrong end of the stick. And it could be said about any sport or anything, couldn't it? Just because you saw someone cheat at football, should you then
tarnish everyone that plays football. Oh my God, do you know what I mean? Like, it just, we don't all need to be tarnished
but
with
it
the same
could come
brush.
across, and then someone jumps on that, and then they're like, oh, well, look at them all. They're like that. And then it's like, well, no, hang on a minute. We're not all like that. That's an isolated incident that's been blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
You've now jumped on it, but often it comes from people within the industry, I feel.
Yes.
A lot of it comes from people within it. You see it in the gun dog world.
Actually, they're quite... Now you mention it, it's going to sound awful. The people within the industry are terrible. There's a lot of... Can I say the word? BB bitching?
You said bitch a minute ago, so I wouldn't worry about
Did
that
I?
on the last thing, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Or was that the last pod?
There's a lot of bitching, moaning, poking. Oh, you've done that. It's like nobody wants to see you do well sometimes, so they'd rather pick you apart than support, rather than, this isn't a hateful message, but why don't you try...
Well, I had one, didn't I? I was talking to you about it the other day. And this isn't an industry-wide thing, but it's just an example. Somebody said, oh, someone's dog on a shoot ripped a bird out of my dog's mouth. How should I go about challenging them about it? It's unacceptable. Well, all of the messages were, call them out on it. This is unacceptable. They shouldn't be picking up. No one knows how to pick up nowadays. This is out of order. Negative. And I just replied with, all dogs make mistakes, and one day that could be your dog. It might not make that mistake, but it might make another mistake. Yeah. And sometimes we have to say to ourselves, does that need to be thrown out into the public domain? Or could that person just have politely gone over to the owner of the dog, maybe just watch to see, it could be a one-off. If it's a one-off, it's a one-off. If it's repeated, they could have just gone up to that person and said, hi, this is a bit awkward, but your dog's taken a couple off of mine. I just wondered if there was anything that I could do to help, or is something you're working on, or whatever. Why does everyone have to share everything in that sense and put it out there? Because you're chucking negativity into a space.
Why did that need to go online? It didn't, did it? It's annoyed you. That's fine.
But also the term challenge, how should I challenge them? And I feel that's a very minor thing in a very minor section, quite niche to obviously gun dogs, and it's not negative that an anti could jump on. I'm not saying that, but one of the posts was, oh, this will then lead to them ripping birds apart and so on. You then start thinking, well, if somebody did see that part, they're now jumping on a negative thing, and you have to question, how does this look to the greater picture? You know, we all have to come together and support each other.
100%.
And sometimes you just need to just zip it.
It just doesn't help, does it?
On the flip side, I would say that there is an awful lot of positivity out there as well, though. You just look at the Eat Game Awards and all the things that people have done for those. You know, both you and I are really behind eating game, and also you look at countryside management. We were talking the other day about gamekeepers and biodiversity. Those messages are out there.
And I think social media, there's a lot of young people on social media, isn't there? So it's reaching the younger generation that aren't necessarily au fait with eating game and stuff.
The only thing I do wonder sometimes, and I think this will be should be something we bring up another day, because I don't want to bore everyone by talking about this for 20 minutes. But you do then have to say, are we preaching to the converted? Because if someone posts something negative, it spreads quite quickly. If someone posts something positive, like let's say you post about your Eat Game and your venison, how many non-field sports people will look at that?
Not many, probably.
Because you've got a field sports following. How do we actually tap into the people we need to tap into beyond our industry? And I think that's the same for everybody. It's quite difficult to tap in beyond the industry. These things tend to spread like wildfire when something bad happens.
Not the good.
But when something good happens, how do you broach that beyond? And that's where some of those conservation groups and BASC and Countryside Alliance and all of those sorts of things need to kind of get the message out.
Start working with more schools early on and different, and
also just promoting it into a broader sense, pushing social media beyond just field sports and farmers.
For instance,
we do it. Our dancing has gone beyond people that would ever have had anything to do with field sports. Okay, we're a drop in the ocean.
But people have said, oh my God, you make me want to get into field sports.
Yeah.
Because it looks fun and
that's a really positive side of things, but how do you keep tapping into those people?
I just thought, actually, when you said, like, getting into, how do you reach people that aren't into it? I don't think I've ever seen an advert on telly for venison or eat. There's literally not, is there? Why have these companies not gone, do you know what, we're going to broadcast
cost, I imagine, but they could do that on social media, which would be a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And to get those, just to bring it to the greater public. I suppose that's a question for people listening. What would you do? How do you think the industry can tap into people that aren't part of the industry?
Yeah.
How do we broaden ourselves and push ourselves into the greater public?
That's given me an idea. Watch out. 2026, 2027, me, you, road trip. We're going to go and tell the world.
Well, we have a gun bus.
About eating game.
We wanted to paint it pink and put a picture on it,
And we're going to get a film crew. BBC, Netflix, Watch Your Space. Sarah and Celine try to convert people
to... Well, to be fair, based on a couple of weeks ago, I was your film crew for you going deer stalking. So am I the film crew and the taxi?
Maybe this is going to be our new thing.
Well, I'm your film crew in your taxi and you just go around the country.
No, we're gonna try and get the word out there.
We're going to get the word out.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a song?
Word. What is the bird? Bird. No, bird is word. Word is the bird.
I'm leaving that in.
Bird is the word.
Well done, Sarah.
Wow.
Gosh.
I think we need a new rule that we don't record podcasts after 12 p.m. lunchtime. Recommendation.
All people are going to hear is the you patting your legs.
I will come up with some better jingles, I'm adamant.
Anyway, recommendation.
This is our recommendation section.
It is, and you have a recommendation.
I do. So it's a company called Wild and Worthy Meats. It's a new company that have just launched. They have a new website. I think they have Facebook and Instagram as well. They're selling everything from fresh meat, ready-packed meals, clothing, accessories, chopping boards, gifts. They're literally, go on their website, there's something for everyone. But what I particularly love is their pre-packed meals. So
like ready meals?
Yeah, imagine ready meals. You're going camping, you're going, I don't know, hiking, on a long stalk. Can't be bothered to cook one night.
Oh, is this the stuff that you don't put, so they're not refrigerated ones? They're in like in a bit like ping rice, but in a bag.
Yeah, bit like a bag, yeah. And everything's done, pre-seasoned. All you need to do is cook it, essentially. So just get a frying pan out or something. So what have I had? There's curries, chili con carne, there's venison kebabs, and it even comes with like the dough ready, and you just fry it and it turns into a flatbread.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. And
Is it all game meat or is it a mixture?
No, all game. So venison, duck, pheasant, partridge, rabbit, you name it. And it tastes absolutely insane.
Wow. I wonder if they'll be at the game fair this year, because that would be one of those where you go along and you just want to, when you go to the food bit and then you picky eat.
It would be amazing, but I don't know if they're quite there yet.
Okay, sorry, Wild and Worthy. I might just have dumped you in it there. If they're not at the game fair, get behind them so they can save up enough money to go to the game fair in the future.
But honestly, like if you can, even if you just buy yourself a couple of packets, like it is super tasty. I was really surprised. Do
they do anything like biltongs and stuff?
Yes.
Do they?
Yeah.
I love them.
Soups, seasonings, hot chocolates, coffees. Like they've literally got everything.
I've never heard of them. That's
so
terrible.
Wild
Apologies.
and Worthy Meats. Go check them out on socials. Give them a follow. Help give them the boost. Because this is the other thing, like people in this industry do struggle because social media platforms and that.
Well, we just spoke a second ago about getting these things beyond our little niche. How do you get further? You get further by promoting.
People need to help. A lot of platforms ban you for stuff nowadays. It's just how it is. So sometimes the only way people can, push their business is for everyone to just chip it. It takes you 2 seconds to like, share, done. You've done something for that business. And we do need more businesses like that. So go and give them a little follow.
Oh, nice. Well, I might treat myself.
I'll give you, I've got some at home, so maybe I'll give you one of my little meals. Ooh. Oh, you're gluten-free there, aren't you?
Well, it doesn't mean they don't do something gluten-free.
I'm sure they will, but I'll check my packaging for you.
Wow.
Should
I just do a compilation of Barts and Fabs? Barts and Fabs. I really need a Bart and a Fab.
So up next, we have a voice note that somebody has sent into us. So here we go. Hopefully, I'm going to play it close to my mic. Here we go.
Many, many years ago, I had a wonderful old dog, a Labrador named Purdy. She would go with me everywhere I went. She was the sort of dog you could take on a train in the middle of London without her leave her sitting outside a shop while she went inside. She was 100% rock steady and totally reliable. She would walk at heel wherever I went. The story is set on a Saturday morning in July. I'd been out the night before, not only getting on the sauce with a few pals, but followed up with the obligatory Friday night after pub visit to the Royal Tandoori. I went to bed a little tired and emotional, but woke up, feeling not as broken as expected. I was due to check the pens that morning, so after a restorative breakfast, Purdy and I set off as usual. I was just nursing a bit of a headache. I'd been round a couple of the pens when I registered some rumblings in the guts, but thinking I'd be able to get done and get home to the porcelain, I continued on my mission. However, shortly afterwards, things started to become a little more pressing, and I realised that the chicken jalfrezi and garlic naan were going to enter centre stage in no uncertain terms in the very near future. By now, we were in the middle of the wood, which had some wind-blown trees, and faced with the inevitable. I stopped, dropped to my trousers, and parked myself across a fallen tree with my backside proud of the trunk itself. What then happened was quite eventful. Without wishing to be unpleasant, there was an unstoppable eruption of considerable force and volume, with a suitable soundtrack to match. As is often the way of these things, this continued for some time before I felt it was safe to move. However, eventually I stood up, somewhat in disarray, and attempted to sort myself out. I turned round to see Purdy, who had sat at heel through the whole performance, was now completely covered in second-hand jalfrezi. The poor animal sat there, blinking through the sludge. Her face said, "What the hell did I do to deserve that?" I actually felt too guilty to laugh very much. I took her home and hosed her off, but if I'm honest, she stank like a badger for a fortnight. When people ask you why on earth your dog stinks so badly, it's quite difficult to look them in the eye and explain, because I pooed on her head.
Awful! He shat on the dog, and the dog didn't move. Wow, that's an obedient dog, isn't it? Oh, sorry, I forgot we're still recording the podcast. Glad I just put it onto my thing then. Oh, wow. Well, I'd say he did well with an obedient dog there.
I mean, that dog was rock steady.
If it was one of your dogs or my dogs, they would have been eating it.
Probably.
Last night's curry. Oh my god, that poor dog. I know. It sounds like we have quite a few people that get caught short out in the countryside.
Yes, if you get caught short out in the countryside, please do let us know.
Please let us know. We love to have a giggle. We do love a voice note as well.
We do love a voice note.
Yeah.
Really love
More
a voice
voice
note.
notes, please, guys.
More voice notes. And also, don't forget, send us some messages on social media. Leave us a 5-star review. It takes 2 seconds. Follow us on your favourite podcast channel. And if you want to write something as a review, we would love you forever.
And if you don't, we'll block you from listening.
Thank you very much.
Bye.